Hello, this is David Gould, Sloane, Toyota, Philadelphia, and we're bringing you the Scion IM. The Scion IM. Now today this would be the Corolla IM. It's the same car, they just rebranded it because the Scion nameplate went away, I believe this is 2016, so in 2016. By the time the 17s came out. This reminds me, for anybody who knows the Toyotas of the past, it reminds me of the FRS. If we went way back when, it'd probably be back about 1980 something, maybe 86, 87 type of an age. Back in the day, there was an FRS. It was a European sports car, kind of like was somewhat of a competitor, if you would, with a Volkswagen Golf, Euro rally car. Well, these are really sporty looking. They're a lot of fun. Nice, solid, heavy ride to them. The cars themselves, there's a lot to be said for the Scion brand. Scion was a one-price system where they called mono-spec. In other words, they loaded the cars up. They had everything pretty much in them when you got them for one price. So you got tons of stuff. If you like stuff, this is the car probably for you. All right, we've got the sportier oversized wheels. The fold-away mirrors, the power fold-away mirrors, these are pretty cool. Especially if you're in tighter garages. Not once or twice. We hear people that come in here to me and to the store and they're talking about, hey, you know, my garage is really tight that I'm pulling into. There's a way you don't have to manually pull them in. This is called a vortex generator. If you've never seen online, try looking that one up on YouTube. Vortex generator works with little divots, if you would, in the car, back here and here, that actually break the wind and spin it so that when it comes down and around the car, it continues out past the car instead of wrapping around the back of the car. And it actually helps gas mileage. Up and around 50 miles an hour and above, 60 miles an hour and above, it'll pick up an extra half mile per gallon or so or more. It's a neat feature. If you know about, if you've ever seen bicycle race, professional racers, or even the race cars when they're in a draft, right on behind the other person in front of them, the draft is because there is no vortex generator on their car or on the bicycle, right? So it makes for a draft, a draw. That's extra energy that the biker or the car, truck, whatever it has to use to pull because the air is actually sucking it backwards. This breaks that through, and I describe it as being kind of like a dolphin cutting through the water. It makes for very clean lines to the car. This is a really nice car. Sorry it's wet today, but the body of it, no dings, no dents, of anything I can see. Let's put it that way. It's got a pretty cool key. Again, we got stuff. If you like stuff, this would be the right kind of car for you. It's kind of got the switchblade thing going here. All right, so it pops out. You can see you've got your opener, lock, unlock, and an emergency kind of thing. If I press the red, all right, not so much an emergency needs, but if you're trying to find it in a parking lot, in a large open area down at the stadium or something, that's a great way to find it. Now inside the car, again, because of that monospec, this actually has the black on black, so it's very sporty, pretty cool. I mean, the material, everything is in good shape. Does not smell like a smoker, so that's good. Let's see if we can light it up here, see what some of these features are on the inside. Up on the inside there, you can see what you got for your different choices there. And then we're going to have a tilt and slide wheel, so it goes in and out, up and down. And again, this is going to say Scion brand right now. You could buy the same vehicle for all intent and purpose, not identical. But you could buy an IM right now, but it's going to be called the Corolla IM. It's going to be under the Toyota brand here. And I think it just did that to consolidate, you know, cost expenses. Now I'm going to push this button right here, and that's going to make your mirrors go. Okay, that's your power mirror for both sides. And then I'm going to close them, okay? That is a pretty nice feature if you're in tight areas, the city, your garage again, up at the top. Up here we've got a sunglass holder, pretty basic stuff, lighting up on the top. I've got a little mirror, lights up on top there. Controls off the steering wheel. I've got radio controls. I've got my Bluetooth talker right here. They do use I believe they use, yeah, they do, a different audio system than the N-Tune in these because it's a Scion, okay? So they use what's called the AHA system, AHA software. And if you're familiar with that, that's a good thing. You can Google it. You can go on YouTube. They can get into that, or when you come by, one of our reps can go over with you. It just opens up like worldwide, tons and tons of radio stations free that you can get into and listen to as it's working now. That's going to be working through your cell phone system data, if you would, when it's using those systems that are out there. AM, FM, these are going to mean satellite with that little lines right there. And then Bluetooth audio is kind of handy. We can see your tripometer up off the top right there. And there has to be controls up on here somewhere for our Bluetooth controls up off the thing. No phone's hooked up right now, so that's not going to work so well. Looks like we got a couple buttons down here. Sport mode changes your shifting pattern, makes it a little bit more aggressive, sportier feeling. It's going to cost some gas, but you can have some more fun. And traction control off. Now, you know, you want to leave that button on for safety purposes. It stops the wheels from being able to spin. I'm screaming over top of this fan. It keeps the wheels from spinning, and it'll actually back off the gas to accomplish that. It gives you better traction, but in the event that you did want the wheels to spin, say if you're stuck in the snow, you could actually rock the car back and forth, which is not recommended too much. You'd have to turn this feature off in order to be able to get out of that spot without getting out and doing some shoveling. Over there, you can see our auxiliary USB hookup and 12-volt hookup power down below here. Climate controls over on the side right here. Whoops. Says sync, so that means we're going to have climate for both sides. Again, this has got a ton of features in here, right? So I can have one side set very warm. I can have the other side set pretty cold. And if I wanted them to be together, if I'm by myself in the car, I can make one setting. Driver's side controls that. All right, up on the top, your hazard buttons, you know, pretty standard stuff. It does have the vehicle information center in the center here, which Toyota started putting in the cars. We saw that in our Tacoma and a couple is right around 2013. That's nice because it kind of turns your signals into words. So for example, if you're low on something, the information center is going to tell you in English what it is that's going on. A little hard with the reflection there to be able to see it, but you get a better idea of what's going on there for our settings. All right, basically it's telling me how far I can go before we run out of, get a little closer, range before we're going to run out of gas. Average gas mileage. You can see the odometer there at the bottom, 35,858. So this one's got a few miles on it, right? Somebody put a few extra miles on it running down the road. That's going to make for a better deal for you. And then especially for somebody who's doing that low mileage local driving, this would be a car that you could average the miles out very quickly over the next couple of years, and it actually will work out to your advantage. Or if you're just looking for dependable transportation, you're going to drive the wheels off of it. You got your SRS airbags in here. This is another candidate for that. I like this because you can raise these up and down to be able to adjust so it doesn't push it by your ears with the settings being not proper for you. Down below here, let's see, do we have other settings? It looks like we have manual seat with the cloth there. Auto high beams, look at that, huh? Okay, again, these are mono specs, so they were loaded up. They had tons of stuff in them. The auto, on a car at this level, auto high beams are not automatic. Auto headlights, I know some of the domestics, some of the other cars will have it out there, but if I went off to, say, the Toyota or Honda line, most of them will not at this level. The handles over each door is nice. The headliner's in great shape. The back seats, also in great shape. And they do fold down, which gives you a large area to the back there. Let's do that real quick. Gives you a large area for storage, okay, in the back, which is pretty darn nice. Let's see what pops these here. Usually there's a handle right about there, and you can see in through the back how much rooms. They go down pretty flat too, so that's going to give you a lot of space, right? When you talk about the difference in between there. There's our space for the pass-through. You can put items through all the way to the front. It's a large trunk area. I like the way that they've got, if you look at the wheel wells are blocked off, they're not rounded out, losing all that extra space, right? And they're insulated, so we're not getting the wheel noise terribly much into the car. Underneath here, let's see what we've got for what I call, and this is my personal term, a 3/4 tire. Now Toyota doesn't like the idea of a little donut in there. Worse yet, anybody who's putting fix-a-flat into their car, they're not looking out for a customer. Stop it. A car blows out a tire on the side of the road, you know, you can't be waiting in the dark for somebody to come get you. If you needed to change this tire here, the reason I call it a 3/4 tire is because it's full height. So the height of the tire from the ground to the top of the tire is the same. It's just going to be skinnier, okay? Because it's a temporary tire still. Certainly can get your 50 miles or whatever you tell you, plus way more than that for being able to get out of Dodge. If you're on your way to the shore or wherever, you're not going to be sitting here at 3 a.m. in the morning with fix-a-flat with a hole ripped through the side of the car. The fix-a-flat blows out the side of, okay? Because, you know, we're better than that here with this franchise, and you're certainly getting a lot more car than that with this car here, okay? So, listen, this is David Gould at Sloane Toyota, Philadelphia, like very much to be able to talk to you some more about this car or one of our many others, okay? We've got tons of them down here. Feel free again to reach out to us if we can help you in any way. My contact information will be available at the bottom of the active web place if you're looking at this through that source. We'll look forward to earning your business soon.